You join me with the F-150 Lightning as we head out on what is going to be, so far, our longest road trip as we go to Bowling Green, Kentucky and visit the Corvette Museum and actually take a tour of the Corvette factory. My stepfather bought a Corvette in February of 22, and part of that package of delivery at the museum is a tour of the Corvette plant. I don't think we can take photos or video in the plant, but this will be part of that trip. I'll review some of the things going on with the F-150 Lightning on the trip and keep you up to date. So join me as we head to Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's about a 4.5 hour drive for me with one charging stop over in Georgetown, Kentucky. Let's hit the road. I am starting with 100% charge, 321 estimated miles. So we've gone 93 miles and I've used the Blue Cruise pretty extensively. I've had to put my hands on the wheel 3 times, but something just happened with the route planner that I really wasn't expecting. I had, again, loaded a pre-planned route through the app, and it had loaded the charger that is in Georgetown, Kentucky. Now it has us going to Georgetown, Kentucky, but I was just prompted that I was going to need a charge on the trip. Do I want to add a charger? Do I want to do it automatically, or do I want to browse for chargers? So I did it automatically, and it did. It looks like it's taking me to the Georgetown, Kentucky Electrify America charger. But I don't know why it prompted me. I thought that was already saved in the route that I had uploaded. So that's a little disappointing, but so far all is well, and I will update you when we get closer to the charger. We're at the Electrify America here at Georgetown at the Walmart. Started off on charger 1 is 150 kilowatt. Started off fast, 146, but throttled down to 30. So I waited until this 350 cleared. I know 350, my Lightning really can't take advantage of that, but that held a charge around 114 kilowatts for the entire time. I got up to 82%. So we're getting ready to head back on the road out to Bowling Green, the Electrify America. The parking is somewhat complicated, this Rivian. I had to help these folks because there's only one parking scenario where they can access the 350. And so we had to get them set up, and it's always a learning experience here at the charging locations. We're still in the early days. Just a little north of Bowling Green, and something very massive is being built here. I have a suspicion that this is related to the electric vehicle industry. Probably either a battery plant. I'm not sure exactly where one of 2 Ford battery stations is being built, but yeah, that's massive. So I did return to this location on Sunday on my way home, and it is indeed part of the Ford Blue Oval build-out. It's a joint venture with SK. It's a $5.8 billion investment in the town of Glendale, Kentucky. It's a twin battery manufacturing facility and will support the future of Ford Motor Company's lineup of electric vehicles. We're at the Electrify America at the Corvette Museum here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and I forgot to mention that you meet some really cool people at Chargers. It really becomes a social event. I met a contractor who was driving a Ford Lightning Pro version. He bought it from a dealer. It was a mannequin for them last year, and he had the standard battery, so he was heading to West Virginia to pick up an RV. So I gave him some tips and tricks on where to charge in that charging desert of West Virginia. So it was really cool meeting him, and I had to help some other people new to the CCS network, had Teslas, but didn't know the CCS network at all, driving a Rivian R1T. So here we are. We had to wait here. We have one unit that's totally out. I'm on the 150 unit, so I didn't take up the 350 unit down there. I'm pulling, I think, 60 some kilowatts here. We're gonna go in and eat lunch. 61 kilowatts, if you can see that. At the other Electrify America, I was pulling 114 on the 350. So I maybe should be on the 350, but I didn't want to take it up in case a higher capacity EV came in. So we're gonna head in, have lunch here at the museum, then we're gonna go on the Corvette factory tour here in a bit. The GM assembly plant opened in 1981 and is home of the Corvette, the only place in the world where the Corvette is built. They have built over 1 million Corvettes since the plant's opening. For me, the highlights were the paint shop. That is amazing to watch the robot arms, and the marriage of the chassis to the engine and drivetrain. It's a great tour. Take it if you get a chance. This is the Beaver Dam supercharger location with 7 Tesla version 3s and 2 ChargePoint 62.5s. It is a shared. You might get more than 62.5 if no one else is charging. I was at 77 kilowatts. And Huck's is a nice gas station, convenience store, deli, restrooms, right on site. We're back at Georgetown. Electrify America. Very tight parking scenarios here. Unfortunately, for the F-150, it gets real tight. We've got an Audi here, and that's about it. So it's kind of a quiet Sunday morning. So it's becoming a standard operating procedure that I visit Jersey Mike's, which is just 2 blocks away from this charger. So it's really convenient, and Jersey's Mike's, no sponsorship, but it's one of my favorite places. I am on charger 4, and this is the one with the really horrible screen. But we started out, this is the 150 kilowatt, and started out at 124, and we're holding it, which is fantastic. Very happy with this right now. But I have to say, I am pretty happy with the charge. It's been holding above 100 kilowatts all the way up through 68%. So for me, from my charger experience, that's a pretty good charge. A couple of additional items here at this charger in Georgetown. It's really in a terrible location. This is like one of the main access roads to the Walmart. And you can see my F-150 sticks out a little bit. So this whole parking scenario could be updated. And they have a really awkward charge station 1. A lot of people have to, if you can see that Audi over there, kind of has to park diagonally on the other side. So parking's a little tight. I wish this was at a more remote part of the Walmart parking lot. So my conclusions on this trip is the longest trip I've taken with the F-150. Performed exactly as I'd planned. The charging stations, of course, we have a lot to be desired. We need more charging stations, and we need them better designed, better layout, but all of that's going to happen. Right now, it's still the early stages, and you have to have a little sense of adventure. Like Kyle Connor says, I was amazed at the Ford SK battery production facility being built just south of Elizabethtown on 65. That's the largest construction project I've ever seen, and I hope you enjoyed that footage. And the Blue Cruise, I probably used Blue Cruise about 80% of the time. The only time I didn't use it, some around New Circle Road in Lexington, and the construction zones. There were several construction zones, and it really can, like lane keep assist, sometimes in a construction zone, it's just not the best thing to have on. So other than that, the truck is performing wonderfully, and I'm looking forward to my trip to the mountains for astronomy. If you follow me on Jeff Ball Astrophotography, we are going to the Almost Heaven Star Party next weekend, and I'm not going to jinx it, but the advanced forecast looks good. I can't believe I said that. So stay tuned. Hey, thanks for following me on this Charge On with Jeff. I'll keep you up to date on the Ford F-150 Lightning, how it works in my daily travels and weekly travels and my lifestyle, and hope you're enjoying this. So everybody, hey, take care and have a great week, and charge on. So these are the numbers at the end of the trip. I got back home with about 58 miles left. I averaged 2.1 miles per kilowatt hour. That timer is a little deceiving. It is total running anytime I have the car on. So if I'm sitting at a charger, that timer is still running. And I missed the first 30 miles, so it was about a 710 mile round trip, all stops included.